Elon Musk and his company SpaceX have recently dominated headlines with their satellite internet service Starlink. Jeff Bezos and his company Amazon have also been dipping their toes into the satellite internet game, but it appears that there will be a new contender stepping into the arena to dethrone the multi-billion-dollar companies for the top spot in the satellite internet battle. Who it is will likely surprise you, so you won't want to miss a second of this video. With that out of the way, let's dive right in. Why is satellite internet such a buzz now? Elon Musk announced way back in 2018 that he and his company SpaceX were going to be working hard to launch thousands of satellites to provide satellite internet to places that are normally without normal internet. With the world transitioning to a more virtual work and school environment, places that have trouble connecting to the internet are going to be left in the dust without a reliable source of internet. Enter companies like SpaceX and Amazon to provide those companies with the service necessary. But why are so many companies spending millions of dollars and man-hours to rush the service into the stars? Well, it comes down to space, really. While space is the final frontier and a technically endless void full of free real estate, there can only be so many satellites around the planet, both for good internet service and for the good of the planet. If there are too many satellites in the atmosphere, we are at risk for light pollution, satellite crashes both in space due to satellite-on-satellite collisions, and satellites falling out of their path to crash down to Earth. Companies are doing what they can to get their satellites in the air because if they do not do it soon, they might never do it at all. Furthermore, the faster these companies get their satellites out there, the faster they can begin to sign customers up for their service, making other companies' services obsolete. Additionally, it is difficult for three companies to be directly competing for the materials needed to produce these types of machines. Long story short, the faster these companies can get their satellites in the low Earth orbit, otherwise known as LEO, the better. But how many companies are there, and who is going to win this race? Next, Amazon versus SpaceX versus the entire EU? So it was revealed earlier this week that the European Commission has approved a €6 billion project to get their own satellite internet satellites into LEO ASAP. This came as a surprise to most, as the European Commission has already denied a request much like this one 2 times already, but is seemingly ready to change their tune. The Commission had to give their appeal to the Regulatory Scrutiny Committee for the Commission Board, and the past 2 times they have denied the proposal, claiming that this would be a waste of money and time and would compete unnecessarily with commercial services. The EU also has Galileo and Copernicus, which are a separate series of satellites that are used for GPS and observation on Earth. The reason the EU was willing to do this now is actually relatively unclear, as it seems like they could just have relied on either Amazon's Project Kuiper or SpaceX, rather than spending the time and money to make their own broadband internet service. However, they have listed a few reasons indirectly through the changes they made in their most recent proposal compared to their first 2 proposals. For starters, it appears as though the parts and the machines will be assembled in both Europe and Africa, making sure that the satellites will not be assembled in China. Additionally, it seems like if they have their own set of satellites providing broadband, they can serve as a backup in case of cyber attacks on other broadband systems. According to Terry Breton, the commissioner of the international market for the EU, this is of central importance in terms of our strategic and technical sovereignty. It appears that the EU is worried about trusting any of their internet being assembled anywhere else or being controlled by anyone else. If the EU is going to have any of its citizens conducting business or school over the broadband satellite internet, they want to make sure it is secure and made by the EU, which I suppose is fair enough. But are they going to be able to get it done? Yes, the proposal has been approved, but will it prove successful? SpaceX has been working on their satellite internet project, known as Starlink, for quite some time, and has already entered their beta stage with 2,000 satellites already in LEO. Additionally, Starlink has another 2,000 satellites being sent into LEO soon for a full 4,000 before any other company gets their satellites in orbit. But Starlink is looking to have at least 40,000 total satellites when they are fully operational. Amazon's Project Kuiper plans on releasing 3,000 satellites very soon, which will also throw a wrench in the EU's plans undoubtedly, as this will take up valuable valuable resources and real estate in the LEO. So it seems as though the EU's plan does not stand a chance in getting satellites out faster than these services. So where will they have the edge? It will not be cost, as they will be the best and only option for customers in the serviced regions in the EU, meaning there will not be competition to keep the cost lower. Additionally, the EU will have to replace each satellite every 5 to 7 years, which will not be cheap, which also will keep the cost very high, while also potentially affecting their services during this time period for the customers, whether that is with a full blackout for a certain period of time, or it is a weaker signal for a period of time. Obviously, we do not know right now, but it most likely spells an unfortunate time frame for the customers of this service. The only way in which this seems like an advantageous agreement for the EU is the fact that they get the security of fully owning the service's servers and can fully monitor the use of the internet. Additionally, they are making the units themselves in facilities in Africa and Europe rather than outsourcing the assembly to China, which is apparently a very big deal for them, as this was part of the reason as to why the initial two proposals got shut down. This also is apparently an attempt by the EU to boost the nation's space program, as they would be the only group of nations to have their own satellite internet service that is completely independent of a company like SpaceX or Amazon, which is also apparently huge for the EU and its scrutiny commission. But this still leads us to ask the question, why are we all of a sudden so interested in satellite internet when there are so many cheaper and better options? Why the sudden need for satellite internet? Obviously, the entire world was rocked by COVID-19. However, it did show the entire world that we do not need to be going to a central meeting place like the office or the business park to conduct our business. We can very easily stay home and do everything we used to do virtually. This helps so many companies, as they can hire people from outside of their immediate area and they can avoid paying for an office space. However, there are unfortunately a great deal of rural towns that have no access to reliable internet and would thus be left in the dust if the majority of businesses did in fact move to a more virtually heavy way of conducting business. Furthermore, many schools are changing their way of education by allowing more students to learn from home and to complete different types of assignments using their phones and computers rather than the traditional pen and paper. But again, the same problem arises. How will these companies that are without access to reliable internet give their children the opportunity to learn at the highest possible level? This is why so many companies and countries are so set on making sure that their communities have access to the internet, whether it comes from in-house Wi-Fi or it comes from satellite internet. If the world is going that direction anyway, it seems like this will be an inevitable path regardless, thus forcing these companies' hands to either move with the times or to fall behind. While this is a costly project, it will be absolutely necessary for a great deal of the planet, like rural communities in North America and Europe, but also for more remote locations in Africa and Asia that are currently completely without internet access due to their natural geography. Satellite internet seems archaic, but it is indeed the future and will allow for so many nations to enter the digital age and have their say in the digital world in both education and business. That's all we have for you guys today on the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. What do you think about the EU having its own satellite internet system? Do you think it will be a good step in the right direction for the EU? Do you think satellite internet is necessary? Let us know in the comments section below. We hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please don't forget to leave a like on the video and to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you never miss a single upload from us here at the channel. Thank you all once again, and we will see you all in the next video.